What does budget electronic music gear mean to you? Freebeat. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shoutout goes to Don Tomato. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So since the inception of this channel, almost 3 years ago now, it's been primarily focused on budget electronic music gear. However, I've recently realized that I don't think I've ever just taken the time to make a video on what budget electronic music gear actually means to the channel, to me. Now, really quick before we do jump into this topic, I just want to address everyone in the comment section or everyone about to leave a comment in the comment section, especially since we're going to be talking about money today, you know, budget electronic music gear. Please try to remember that we are all different. Everyone comes from different walks of life. We are all in this because we're interested in electronic music, and that should be able to overcome any kind of, monetary financial differences between our lives or anything like that. We're all different. So please treat everyone with kindness and respect in the comment section. So budget electronic music gear has different meanings for all of us. But the first thing to realize is that no matter your definition, that perspective is valid. Of course, we're all financially different, like I said. So no matter what your definition of budget gear is, it is valid and it is okay. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and remember that. If the only piece of gear you consider budget is, $5 for Koala Sampler on a cheap Android device, that's totally okay. Maybe it's the $49 PO24 Office. That's okay too. Maybe it's a $3,000 Roland Phantom. That, again, is also okay. It's your definition of budget. It's yours. So for those of you out there who just want to know my definition of budget electronic music gear and then move on, it is $400 US. Anything at or under $400 US I consider to, for the most part anyway, be budget electronic music gear. This is a number I've come to both from my own experience, which, by the way, I'm not living any kind of glamorous life here. Even with my whopping 12,000 subscribers, I do struggle to pay rent every month. And if I have a couple, videos that don't get views a few days in a row, or if we lose a patron, or if Amazon affiliate sales aren't doing so well, it's very, very stressful to figure out how I'm going to fill in that gap and pay the rest of rent for the month. But this is what I want to do, and I'm sticking with it. And each month it does get a little bit better. So again, the $400 US mark was reached both from my own experience, but also in watching a lot of other videos here on YouTube, reading a lot on Reddit and other forums, reading a lot of YouTube comments. That seems to be a pretty, not average, but a pretty common cutoff point for a lot of folks when it comes to budget gear. And if we actually, expand and look at the gear in that price range, I think it's pretty clear to see why. It's the first real cutoff point where you get access to almost every type of gear out there. Of course, the pocket operators are well within that budget, 3 or 4 of them actually, 4 or 5 really, including the ever-popular PO33KO. This is what I got. This is what started my electronic music journey, and even with its recent price hike to $99, still a beast of a little pocket sampler. And great budget piece of gear. That also includes the Volcas, which, again, most folks would argue, yes, are budget pieces of gear. Of course, there's a wide range of them. They can do a whole bunch of stuff. I am very partial to the keys and the drum, which you probably know if you've seen any of my videos. It also allows us to include things like the Electron model cycles here and its counterpart, the model samples. Both feature heavy groove boxes, fantastic sequencers, with the model samples, you can load in your own sounds, and really the options are just endless. With the model cycles, you're a bit more limited, but it allows you to truly be, all in one box. It also allows us to include things like the new Novation circuits, the circuit tracks and the circuit rhythm. Both pretty killer pieces of gear for the money, and both under that $400 US price point. Of course, they are groove boxes that let you work towards making full songs. There's also all of the Behringer standalone clones. There's the Arturia Micro Freak. There's things like the Yamaha Reface series. You can get really any sort of synthesizer that you're after in that price category. I believe even like the 1010 music, the what are they called, the Lemon Drop and the Fireball, those synthesizers I believe creep under that $400 price point as well. It's also a pretty good price point for used gear. You can bump up to things like a used Roland MC101. I've seen used 1010 black boxes going for around that too. Yeah, it's just a really solid price point, I think, and that's why it's my definition of budget. When it just comes to finances here on the channel, that's, what I try to focus on. However, when it comes to budget, there's also, in my opinion at least, another way of looking things, which is features to price. I actually have a couple pieces of gear that I believe, again, my opinion, fall into this category. But first, let me say that the OP1 is not one of those pieces of gear. In my opinion, this is in no way a budget piece of gear, no matter what category you're looking at. $1,400 is a lot of money to a lot of people, and that's, just looking at the finance side of things. But when it comes to features for that price, as we've discussed on the channel, this thing is so niche, its target audience is so pinpointed that I don't think there's any way it could be considered budget. Again, my opinion. How many times am I going to say that in this video? Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my OP1, and I probably won't trade it for anything. I love this thing so much, but it is not a budget piece of gear, at least per the rules of this video. Again, $1,400 is a lot of money, and its target audience is so niche that I don't think the value of features per price is there either. However, I have two more pieces of gear that, while higher in cost, one might be able to argue that they are pieces of budget electronic music gear just because of what they give you for the money. The Synthstrom Deluge, which retails for $999 US, and the Akai MPC One, which retails for $899 US. Both of these are full-blown DAW replacements, basically. You can use either one of these to make a track completely from start to finish. However, because I was pretty harsh on the OP1, saying that it has a niche audience, I'm also going to give the Deluge at least some of that same treatment. Not everyone is crazy about it's not screenless, but there, I just turned it on. That's your display right there. That's it. All the other times the pads become the screen. What a jam. And while I absolutely love the grid-based sequencer view and programming like that, not everyone's going to be crazy about it. It doesn't have velocity-sensitive buttons or pads, so finger drumming isn't as intuitive as something like the MPC One. There's a lot of things that make this a pretty niche device. So for that reason, I'm going to say sort of budget electronic music gear. However, with the MPC One, one might argue that this is all you would ever need to make a lifetime's worth of music in whatever genre you want. The velocity-sensitive pads, it's got this big, beautiful touchscreen here. Let's power it on, sure, why not? It has a whole bunch of different internal synth engines that can emulate a variety of synthesizers. You'd be hard-pressed to find something, some kind of sound that you can't get out of these synth engines, on top of one of the best samplers in the industry. Like I've said before, the full touchscreen really does appeal to a lot of people. You've got onboard hardware control, you've got these Q-Link knobs that you can assign to whatever you want, basically. Full MIDI support. This thing can be a full audio interface if you need it to be. It can also work with audio interfaces. You could get this and not really need anything else ever. So if we do step back and think $899 US to never need another piece of gear ever again to make full songs, that does sound fairly budget, doesn't it, in the long run? You might argue that if you want a keyboard, you'd add another $100 onto that price, for just a bare bones like 61 key controller. But even there, $999 US to never need any other music gear in your entire life, that's pretty reasonable, and again, to a lot of folks, could be considered budget. So I do understand why so many people out there consider things like the MPC One, and like we said, the Deluge, to be budget pieces of gear as well. If we're talking value, in features per dollar. Things like the Deluge and definitely the MPC One shine in that category. So there you have it. There's what budget electronic music gear means to this channel. It's anything at $400 US or less. Admittedly, the budget focus of this channel has kind of shifted, especially after I got the Deluge and after we moved into this studio room here. And some of you have called me out on that. And that's great because not only does it, help me realize that, maybe I've spent a bit too much time on the OP1, the Deluge, the MP1, but it means I get to look at new budget electronic music gear to pick up for the channel and fuel my gas a little bit. It's been a while since I've picked up, something small to add to the channel and show off and showcase and, just bring you some content about. So with the understanding that budget electronic music gear for me is anything $400 US or less, what budget electronic music gear would you like me to check out next on the channel? Let me know in a comment down below. Let me know what budget electronic music gear means to you. Again, please, I'm begging all of you, be respectful to everyone else in the comment section. We're all different, but we're all here to have fun and make music. So I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. New content every single day. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. I sure appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.